Dear friends, hello. Today we will go on an exciting journey through centuries and cultures in order to try to look into the very depths of one of the eternal issues of mankind. What is the meaning of life? This question was asked by every person, and the greatest minds of mankind answered him differently. If we open the pages of the history of philosophy, we will see that each era, from antiquity to the present, offered its own look. A look that reflected not only the thoughts of a particular philosopher, but also the spirit of his time. Ancient Greece, search origins. Ancient philosophy was the first large-scale step of mankind to understand this issue. For the Greeks, the meaning of life was closely associated with the concept of virtue and harmony. Socrates, for example, argued, "An unexplored life is not worth living." For him, the meaning was a constant desire for self-knowledge. He saw life as a school of wisdom, where everyone should ask himself questions and seek the truth. Plato, a student of Socrates, believed that the meaning of human existence is in approaching the world of ideas to the highest and eternal. For him, our earthly life is only a shadow of true reality, and a person's task is to strive for beautiful, good and fair. Aristotle, in turn, saw the meaning of life in achieving eudaimonia, a state of internal prosperity, happiness that arises when a person realizes his nature and virtue. Thus, in antiquity, the main idea was that the meaning is not in wealth or pleasures, but in the development of the soul, in virtue and the desire for the highest. Eastern philosophy, harmony with the world. In parallel, in India and China, exercises that proposed a different look developed. Buddhism argued that life is suffering, but the meaning is to free from it over the path of internal enlightenment, meditation and abandonment. The present purpose of a person is to achieve nirvana, to get out of the wheels of rebirths. Confucianism focused on social harmony and moral behavior. The meaning of man is to be a virtuous member of society, respect the elders, take care of their neighbors, and maintain order in the world. Taoism, on the contrary, taught that the true path is following the Tao, the natural course of life. A person must abandon violence against himself and the world, learn to swim along the river of life, and not fight it. These ideas had a huge impact not only to the East, but also on world culture as a whole. Christian philosophy, meaning in God with the advent of Christianity, a religious interpretation comes to the fore. For thinkers of the Middle Ages, the meaning of life was to combine God in the service of Him and the desire for eternal salvation. Blessed Augustine wrote, "Our heart is restless until it calm down in you." The meaning of life for him was clear, in love for God and rejection of sin. Later, Thomas Aquinas developed these ideas, emphasizing that the meaning of existence is in the knowledge of the Creator and the fulfillment of His will. For millions of people, this answer has become sufficient and determined their path for centuries. Renaissance and New Age, man in the center. But in the 15th to 17th centuries, there is a new stage. Philosophers and thinkers begin to pay more attention to the person, his mind and freedom. Rotterdam's Erasm and other humanists argued the meaning and the development of personality in self-improvement and creativity. Descartes proclaimed, "I think, therefore, I exist." For him, the power of reason was the key. Life made sense insofar as a person uses the mind to know the world and build a more perfect life. Spinoza saw meaning in unity with nature, in understanding the laws of the universe. He believed that happiness and freedom come when we understand our place in general harmony. So gradually the meaning of life began to more and more to contact eternity, but with earthly existence, with the development of reason and society. 19th century, challenges and doubts. In the 19th century, the issue of meaning became especially acute. Against the backdrop of scientific discoveries and social shocks, many philosophers began to doubt traditional answers. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "God died." This meant that old values lose power, and a person himself should create a meaning. He argued that the meaning of life is in overcoming himself, in creating new values, in the desire for the state of a Superman. Schopenhauer saw the world as an arena of suffering, and believed that the meaning is to free himself from endless desires and strive for peace. If the 19th century questioned the old answers, then the 20th century made the question of the meaning of life even more dramatic. Wars, crises, and scientific discoveries forced philosophers to look at him from the new sides. Jean-Paul Sartre claimed, "Existence precedes the essence." This means that a person is born without a previously given meaning, but creates it himself through his actions and choice. According to Sartre, we are doomed to be free. This freedom is terrible because no one will tell us how to live, but it is she who makes us real people. Albert Camus spoke of the absurdity of existence. The world does not give an answer to our question about the meaning, but instead of despair, he proposed to accept absurdity and live as if we ourselves are creating a value to every moment. His famous image is a Sisyphus who rolls a stone uphill. And although the stone rolls down again, it is in this process, in the effort itself, and the meaning is. A special place is occupied by the philosopher and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived the concentration camp. He wrote that even in the worst conditions, a person is able to find meaning in love, in the hope, in creativity, or even in the persistent transfer of suffering. Its main thesis: a person can lose everything except for one, freedom to choose his attitude to what is happening. Today, the meaning of life is considered from different angles. Modern psychology claims that a sense of meaning is associated with the goals, values, and a sense of belonging to something more. Science suggests that life arose as a result of evolution, but a person is able to attach significance to it. Pre-modern philosophers add, meanings are always multiple. Each person creates his own little truth, and there is no single universal answer. If you summarize, you can say, for ancient thinkers, meaning was in virtue and harmony. For Oriental exercises, in enlightenment and unity with the world. For Christian philosophers, in the service of God. For thinkers of the New Age, in the mind and development. For Nietzsche and his contemporaries, in creating their own values. For existentialists, in freedom of choice. For Francers, in the ability to find meaning even in suffering. Each of these views is only the line of one truth, and perhaps the meaning of life is not given to us from the outside, but is born in each of us, in our path, in what we choose and create ourselves. Friends, we went together through millennia of philosophical thoughts. We heard the voices of sages, religious thinkers, scientists, and philosophers, and each of them spoke about the meaning in his own way. But maybe this is the main answer. The meaning of life is in the search itself. The fact that we ask this question, we are looking for it, and live our life so that it is filled with value for us and others. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you like the journey to the world of philosophy, be sure to support it, like and subscription. See you, and let your life always be filled with meaning.